A. For. Hello, we reading in the writings of the article What are the times of prayer and gratitude in work. You can find the study materials in our website online on the boot system. You can also send us questions live through the website. Anyone asking a question in the study hall is asked to stand up, hold the microphone close to his mouth and speak loud and clear. What are the times of prayer and gratitude in a work? Our sages said one should always establish the praise of their Creator and then pray. They also said one should always establish one's prayer and then pray. We should understand why we must first establish the praise of the Creator. When a person is in a state of deficiency and wants to pray to the Creator to fill his lack, he needs his help. Why should one first establish the praise of their Creator with the flesh and blood King? We can understand that first we must show our respect for the King, so the King will see that we are among those who love him, and for this reason the King will grant our wish. But how can this be said with regard to the Creator? Does the Creator need a person to show him that he is among those who love the Creator? Then the Creator will help him, and otherwise he will not. After all, the Creator is merciful and gracious. Although one is unworthy, the Creator helps those who pray to him. Explained what we say in the 18 prayer. You hear the prayer of every mouth, meaning that does not matter what praise, but the prayer of any mouth, even if this mouth is unimportant, still the Creator hears it. Why must we first establish the praise of their Creator? In order to interpret this, we should first present the words of the Tsar. And see came to pass before he concluded speaking that behold, Rebekah came out. It asks, it should have said came, as it is written, Rachel his daughter comes. Why does it say come out? He says that this indicates that the Creator took her out from among the towns. People were all wicked. Rebekah came out, was separated from the rest of the people in the city because she was righteous. Rush interprets the verse. Perhaps the woman does not work. He writes it, says to me perhaps and to me are spelled the same in Hebrew. Elsa had a daughter. He was looking for a reason that Abraham would turn to him to marry his daughter. Abraham said to him, my son is blessed and you are cursed. Cursed does not cling to the blessed. Should interpret the meaning of Isaac and Rebekah as well as the matter of the daughter of Alel in the work. The Z res. He said to him, my master shall say, if he heard how the authors of the Mishnah said this portion, which they interpreted concerning the soul, that Abraham is the soul and Sarah is the body. In this manner we should interpret the matter of Isaac and Rebekah as it is written in said his mother Sarah, since as the form of Isaac was as the form of Abraham, similarly Rebekah's form was just as Sarah's. This is why it is written his mother Sarah. This we should also interpret that Isaac was the soul and Rebekah the body in the order of men's work. When he wants to achieve adhesion with the Creator, he should always walk on two lines, right and left. Right means hes. When a person feels satisfaction in work and praises and thanks the Creator for rewarding him with being among the King's servants, he sees that he has achieved a degree in spirituality which is not so among the rest of the workers of the servants of the Creator. Yet he recognizes his loneliness and does not know why the Creator chose him over other people who have not yet reached this degree. This reason he thanks and praises the King, and he can observe what is written, serve the Lord with gladness. At that time he has nothing for which to pray to the Creator to help him, since he feels no length in his situation. However, later when a person goes to work on the left line, meaning when he criticizes the state he's in, and he sees that his FL in mind and in heart, and even worse, he sometimes sees how immersed he is in self-love more than usual. Sometimes one comes to such loneliness that he does not want the Creator to help him out of his loneliness. On the contrary, he's angry that he is not receiving delight and pleasure from the corporeal life. It follows that sometimes the left does not let him even pray and ask of their Creator. How can he feel himself as a whole person and thank the Creator? However, we must know that the work is mainly during the ascent, for only during an ascent can we speak of men's work in two lines, right and leftly. During a descent a person is considered dead. We say that we are speaking to the dead, or that we want something from the dead, that he will do something for this reason. When a person is in a state of work, it said that a person should work in two ways. One, right, small. Two, left, right, means primarily that the wholeness in him is built on above reason, while the left in him is built specifically on the reason and intellect that is at that time he judges himself as he sees. As our sages said, a judge has only what he's on. That when he engages in the left and sees the truth, how lowly immersed in self-love he is, can he then say that he is in a state of Hess? Be grateful to the Creator for giving him such a great gift. He is in holiness. This is the complete opposite of the truth he sees. How can one be happy when he sees the truth? The answer is two ways. One, it is written in the essay concerning faith in his teacher, said that the person should go with faith in the sages as they have arranged it for us. These are his words. Slightly altered, the student must believe as his teacher tells him, walk on the path of right, and as student who depict to himself that he has already been rewarded with complete faith in the Creator, he already feels in his organs that the Creator leads the whole world as the good who does good. This means that the whole world receives from him only good. When he looks at himself, he sees that he is bare and destitute. Also, he looks at the world, he sees that the whole world suffers, torments, each one suffering according to his degree. Say about this, as it is written, they have eyes and see not. That is, as long as a person is in a state of that they have two authorities, they cannot see the truth. For this reason, a person must believe above reason that he is in this, so is the entire world. It follows that in this way he can and should thank the Creator, giving us abundance. This is called the right line, which is the complete opposite of the left line. That is, in the left line we walk within reason, as was said, that a judge has only what his eyes see. In other words, it is specifically with the intellect and not above reason. When shifting to work with the right, the left is the cause that the right is built on the basis of our barrenness is, as our sages said, the left rejects and the right brings closer. In other words, the state of left shows a person how he's rejected and separated from the work of the Creator. The right brings closer me, that it shows him he's close to the work of the Creator. This means that when he engages in the left should bring him to see state of rejection, that he is rejected and separated from the work. When he engages in the right, he should come to a state where he sees that he is close to the Creator. One should thank the Creator for the right, pray to the Creator for the left, because only on two legs person can walk in corporality. This is extended from spirituality. It shows that a person should walk on two lines concerning the wholeness. There is another manner if a person comes to a state where he sees that he is bare and destitute, since he is behind both in mind and heart, meaning he sees that he is immersed in self-love, and he sees that he does not have anything that has any desire to work for the sake of the Creator. Now he sees that he has come to his true state, called recognition of evil. He says that the fact that he now sees the recognition of evil is a gift from above, that he was shown the truth, otherwise he would deceive himself, and he would think that he does not need to change his way, since he's certainly walking on the path of truth, could remain with his evil forever, but now a revelation from above came to him to see the truth. This is as it is written in the Z about the verse, or make his sin known to him. Interpret that the Creator notified him that he has sinned, meaning he was notified from above that he has signed. In other words, the recognition of evil is the revelation from above. For this reason he rejoices at the fact that the Creator tends to him and guides him and shows him his true state. This gives him wholeness, meaning from being rewarded with the revelation of the truth from the hands of the Creator. This discernment that he receives wholeness means that he says that the Creator is bringing him closer and he shows him the truth. It follows now he's not in a state where he says that the Creator has rejected him from K because he feels the bad. On the contrary, this makes him feel that the Creator is bringing him closer. The right brings closer naturally. In that state, when he sees that he is entirely bad, can overcome and seek advice how to emerge from this evil. H thanks and praises the Creator that now he's regarded as blessed in that he sees that he has received the knowledge from above about the recognition of evil. When he thanked the Creator, is certainly considered blessed, since he received a blessing from the Creator, and then he can come to adhesion with the Creator, since the blessed clings to the blessed. This is as interpreted our sages said, the world was created either for the complete wicked or for the complete righteous. He asked, we can understand that it is for the complete righteous. Can it be said wicked? Explained that when a person knows about himself that he is wicked, he will certainly do all that he can to repent. Should interpret his words for the complete righteous, who then enjoy the world in that they are rewarded with the delight and pleasure that the Creator wanted to give at the time of the creation of the world, since they already have vessels to receive the light of the Creator in order to bestow, because in these vessels the purpose of creation is revealed, which is called his desire to do good to his creations. Likewise, when one has already been rewarded with the recognition of evil, these are vessels because one has an inner drive to do whatever he can to emerge from the state of wicked. But when one does not feel the bad, he has no one to awaken him to emerge from that bad state. Since he does not feel so bad, he must do all that he can in order to emerge from that state. It follows that the fact he has come to a state where he sees that he is all bad already has a great merit to it. The evidence is that he can already say that the world was created for him. As was said, the world was created either for the complete wicked. Before he discovered the bad state, he had no right to exist in the world. Said the world was created either for the complete wicked or the complete righteous. Follows that prior to the recognition of evil, he has no right to exist in the world. It therefore follows that if he has achieved the recognition of evil, it is regarded that he already has a grip in the world. That respect, it is considered that he has wholeness, and he can already praise and thank the Creator for this. He already has connection with the Creator. It can already be said that he is considered blessed, and the blessed clings to the blessed. Time can be, and this is the time when he can ascend in degree, meaning that time, gladness, he can receive all the prayers he has given over his deficiencies. It is as our S said, the SH is present only out of joy, as it is written, and he will be as a musician playing, and the Spirit of the Lord shall be upon him. It follows that the primary time when one is rewarded with the instilling of the is specifically the time of wholeness, because specifically at the time of wholeness is the time when he can receive his soul. According to the above, we can interpret what our sages said. Had a daughter, he wanted her to be a wife for Isaac. Literally, it is difficult to understand. After all, daughter was the daughter of a sage, as a sage is said, and Abraham said to his servant, the elder of his house, who ruled over all that was His Elzar said that the governor of the teaching of his master is of the household of Eliezer. They also said their Eliezer Abraham's servant was old and sat in a seminary. Abraham did not agree to this match, and he replied, the curse does not cling to the blessed. This was not so about the match with our Rebekah, who was the daughter of Thiel and a sister of wicked land sages said that sought to feed her the potion of so that they would be left with the money. In other words, he was not merely wicked, he was also a murderer. Yet Gabriel came and replaced the bow and gave it to Betel, and he died rear to came from an environment of wicked. This match is a good match, as it is written, and Re came out. In other words, the Creator brought her out from among all the townspeople who were wicked. Rebekah came out because she was righteous in the literal meaning. If a person is offered two matches, where one is a daughter of a sage and the other one comes from the house of wicked people and a city of wicked people, of course he would choose the daughter of their sage. In work should interpret that the state of Elal is a state of left, or he was yelling all the time, Eli, my God, as helped since I am under the governance of the evil. Follows that this woman, meaning the daughter of their left, who prayed to be given the quality of Isaac, who is called En soul, as a wife, which is the body, in order to receive the soul. Abraham did not agree, because when a person is in the left and cries out, Lord help me emerge from the evil, that body is in a state of cursed. He told him that Isaac, meaning the soul, was blessed, and the curse does not cling to the blessed is written in the her. Although Elzar was a sage, he felt that he lacked the quality of truth. He was always in the state of the left and always had grievances why the Creator would not hear him and give him a soul. The light in it reforms him, though the left speaks to the point, since everything is built on reason, as was said, that the judge has only what his eyes see, but in truth he is cursed. This is why Abraham told him that cursed, meaning the body in a state of cursed, cannot receive the instilling of the regarded as on personal soul. This is so because the means, which is a collection of the souls, for this reason is called the assembly of Israel. In this state the body is unfit to receive the quality of Isaac, who is called a soul, said that the body is called wife and the soul is called husband. However, Rear means in the work that the body is everything that the left shows it. Its true state that all its organs are wicked. It understands only that which concerns self love with regard to the benefit of the Creator. It cannot do a thing as the left shows it. This is the meaning of all the townspeople were wicked, since the body is called a city, as it is written, small city with few people in it. A great king came to it and found in it a poor wise man, and he saved the city with his wisdom. Rear, who was a single righteous woman, came out from among all the towns people. Why does it say came out? He says that it indicates that the Creator took her out from among all the towns people. This means that this body felt itself as whole, meaning as righteous, because Creator notify it the truth. From this it is glad, and this in itself is regarded as wholeness, that the Creator notified it, or for the second above reason that he believes above reason that he has wholeness, because he believes in faith in his teacher that we must go above reason and say they have eyes and see, not in a state of hence. We can be rewarded with the state of Isaac, who is called a soul. This means that the two opposites are in one body, but in two times. She told that the most important is to walk on the right line. Once he has a little bit of the left line. This is the meaning of one should always establish the praise of the Creator, which is considered right, and then pray regard it as left, and then he returns to the right. How are you doing? Okay, a little, as yes, Sharnan. So we heard from here the time of prayer and a time of gratitude. Okay, you don't want to ask. Yet person has recognition of evil. He realizes that as he writes here is wicked the first session, that he needs to do his prayer as I understand it. There is a certain change when he shifts to the right. He's wicked. He made a prayer. What causes it to suddenly shift to the right? The prayer, very fact that a person prays, already brings him closer to it, corrects him, brings him closer person to shift after the prayer to the right line. He should also receive a certain response to the prayer, or the very fact that he prays is enough. It depends on the degree of left and right that he's in, what degree of coarseness he has to show to the Creator from his current state. In the place where we are the moment a person discovers that he in the state of bed he's wicked, doesn't want to connect with friends, everything we understand, and he prays. Do we have any reason to delay after the prayer and go to gratitude, or after the prayer we immediately have to shift, or there is reason to delay? Typically, when we are ready to pray, we already think that this is it. Now, according to my words, the Creator picks me up and throws me from one end to the world to the other, vice versa. It doesn't matter from end to end, meaning I'm now seeing in ascent and changes. It doesn't always work this way, but a person get to go again and again into a prayer, and he has to feel like he has an opportunity to incorporate in the friends, and this is called in the Creator. This is what it means, and then to reach change several times like that. I just want to finish with great gratitude for the congress that we had in the last 2 days, and say that these words that you now said, they fall on a true place much more. Now following this congress, thank you, nice, thank you, writes the end of article. This is why one should always establish the PR of the Creator, which is called right, and then pray regarded as left. So he says that prayer is in the left, the end of the article. What does it mean? He feels himself on the left. What does it mean? One should always pray to the Creator. How does one erase the praise of the Creator? The praise of the Creator is as something arranges from what is revealed to him. The Creator is in the right, in bestow, in connection. Then he looks at himself and he sees that relative to the Creator he's in the left. K. It says that during an ascent is on 2 lines, the left and the right, but during a descent he's considered as dead, which means that there's no connection between the left and the descent. Spirituality is all built on an ascent. Connection is called right, and to divide means the left, the action of the left, but he says that only during the ascent it's considered as working on 2 lines. So the left also can be attributed to the ascent. It can be used for an ascent if he corrects the W to receive where rises onto him, then it means that he's working on the left, but actually our work is to reach a state where we work on 2 lines right all the time in the direction of their goal. MHM. He describes here that on the one hand, for the right he should give thanks, and on the left he should make a prayer. Then he continues and says that in regarding the Hester, another manner, he describes the state with a revelation of evil, its revelation from above. So he's happy and rejoices that the Creator is standing to him and taking care of him and showing him his true state, and from that he received. So it's not necessarily during the revelation of bad that he feels he is in the state of the left, rejects that he's far away. It's not the okay. He says it follows that now not in a state where he says the Creator has rejected him from kata because he feels the bad. On the contrary, this makes him feel that the Creator is bring closer. This is called the right, bring close, brings closer. So very fact that he feels the recognition of evil, and he acknowledges that this is actually means nearing, bringing closer. It's a place of work, and then a person sees that he's approaching through the revelation of evil. The Creator is bringing him closer. He cannot tolerate evil. He's drawn to cover the left using the right. So when is the recognition of evil considered that he is being pushed away? When is it considered that of evil brings him closer? Now is the time to come closer. If the Creator did not show the evil. What way can a person come closer? What will he cover? Here he describes that the very fact that he's shown the evil is already consider that is being brought closer. Yes, even before he a recognition of evil, just by the recognition of evil by itself, he already feels that he's being brought closer. Yes, what about blessed and that he's blessed and he's in wholeness? Yes, but it's still not correction. This is still done by the Creator. All of it. There is a state when they reveal the evil to him. He feels that he's far away and he has to pray. Also a state where they show him the evil and he's grateful and he feels that he's near. But in both of them they show him the evil. One time he responds with a prayer, another time he responds with gratitude. What these two states by showing a person that he's in the bad and the evil side, he's happy because he has a place of work, and the other state where he has evil. But what is he happy? He's praying. He's in prayer, he can pray. Then he's lacking Hess, but he's in prayer. He's happy because he has what to pray. For we take it a bit closer to our issue. For a minute, how can a person, when he feels that he's disconnected, far away, he's condemning, he's criticizing, etc., the friends and the Creator and the goal and everything, how can he be in a state where he's happy and rejoicing and say, I know he's happy and joyous after he's made the action of correction? Here you're simply explaining to us the state. This means that he can't be in a state where he's happy and rejoicing when they reveal to him that he's far away. Yes, but it's following not simply a joyous state, rather a state that he completed, he made whole it. Of course he's happy, but here he describes a state where the very just, the fact that the recognition of evil on in itself, the fact that he was shown that he's far away, he's already in a state where this recognition of evil is a revelation from above. Yes, of course, a revelation from above. So, how to be in this state where he's shown the evil, that he's far away and already he is in wholeness and in joy. He's still not in wholeness, because when he on top of the revelation of evil, he draws the power from above and he raises himself, and then he can be happy as a result of arranging the connection between the two lines. How to can one not stay as a fool? What does it depend on using his own powers? What he went through, is this a person's personal overcoming? Yesterday we talked a lot about the person cannot deliver him from imprisonment, only the friend can elevate his friend. Yes, so is it within his own power or by the power of their friends? Yes, what do you mean? Yes, which one you the side? Okay, thanks. Again we shift from the personal state of left and right, where each one can recognize on himself in some form, to the state of left and right of the 10, left and right of the 10. Now let's ask the audience, the friends, you identify the state you're in, left or right? No, I don't think today the right time. People are either falling asleep or looking at me empty eyes. Okay, I'll continue. Why am I asking? Because in the Congress we talked about this resonance fact that we need, and need also talked about it, we need to waken each other, etc. So clearly states come from above. All of us receive it. You can be on the rightly, you see a friend comes and his face is in the in the ground, or maybe way around your face is all the way down, and friend comes with a lot of enthusiasm and he awakens you. So how do we shift our lives from okay, I received a certain state, great, to oh, look at what is happening in the tenets. Great, shift our attention to this shift. I didn't understand, I also a little groggy, sleepy. They give up or continue. You can give up as far as I'm concerned. Okay, give up. No guys, I'm not telling you seriously. Ask one another. I couldn't sleep couldn't sleep because I was so tired. This Congress was very difficult, very heavy. I went through it, but after it was over, I felt I was drained to zero. If we're talking about it already, makes our feel drained, exhausted, or not exhausted. Physical state first of all, truly physical state, me out of a result of all the distress and the pressure, although I'm not stressed myself personally. But for some reason, when the action was finished, I wasn't able to do anything. Not with my brain, not with my heart, not physically. Nothing. So I'm waiting for it to pass. It's always like this following congresses. There's some time that but not to that extent, not to that extent. This congress was way more powerful. So the fact that Rob is drained, is that a good sign or a bad sign for the students? It's good. Oh, you mean for the students? Wait and see. I think it's good. I think it's good for everyone. It's a sign that we did work, or it's a sign we were negligent, or sure, it's a sign that there was work by everyone who were present and was working. It was good. Thanks. Oh my, is again. I wish to talk about the work again. I felt like friends were not with us daily like we expect them to be, but suddenly in the Congress many friends woke up and pushed us out in a way that is not happening on a regular basis. We were shocked that these friends suddenly woke up as if the Creator gave them powers and said, wait, there's a Congress, I'll give you this power and you'll give it to everyone else. And we felt like this Congress gave us this overdrive. I also barely slept, maybe an hour. I felt like an oversurge of energy. I couldn't sleep, and I'm grateful for the Congress is very special also. When we were doing our duties, you see friends doing their duties and also making this effort to have a deep intention to be connection with the friends. We couldn't always sit in the same table, but there was a tremendous inner effort to be in this connection. Even though we had many roles and duties in the tents, we felt this inner effort. So thank you, everyone. Okay, yes. Chalam. Truly, towards the end of the Congress, I felt like we were working with totally different vessels, like our vessels changed the end of the lesson. Maybe a little before, I could feel like we're already in the next day. This heaviness, because something very big is opening up and coming. The question is how to welcome the of new vessels. What's the correct technical order of work, for example, in the lesson, in order to accept that the vessels that are now being revealed and are coming to us? Should we do some reading how to do it technically? What's the correct way of working in order to receive the new that is coming in the form of these vessels? I think that the most important is to connect with other friends and together to already accept help, or bail may be a better way to say it. The external stow from other tea. Nevertheless, this way or that way, it's a yet fact at its moving by self. Clear. But we sit here and we know that it's going to pass, but we also want to be participating. Will participate correctly in this process. What did you feel special in this Congress? I didn't feel in past Congresses. I felt much more power in the connection in shifting from one state to another. That is the people, the audience that was in the Congress was an audience that us studies, that undergoes changes. This is how they went through it. This is the main thing I felt. So what did you mean by saying it was a little heavy? Well, it was heavy. Heavy doesn't mean bad. It's not that it's bad, but rather heavy. It's like donkey or a person. It doesn't matter how you say it. That carries a bag full or a sack full of gold coins. On the one hand, it carries it for itself. On the other hand, in between, it is hard. It's heavy from here on. From here on, what it depends upon how much you will be able to be flexible in all of these states and see which state awakens you and which one doesn't, etc. Can you expand about this flexibility? No, it's better if we speak from what we're going through. It would be better this way. Well, let's continue. We go to the next part of the lesson. I think so. There's also questions from the world. CLE about what about yesterday? Assume Congress and maybe the article, but we can also go to the next part. Mister, as far as I'm concerned, it's better to move on to the next part. Before we go to the next part, let's sing a song in the shadows. Sang the S to break free from the chains of their mind. Beneath the surface, deep in the heart, there's a melody to guide us all. Broken pieces piecing the skin, chasing voices lost in the wind through the fire starting to rise to a world that's waiting in your eyes, drops of unity to a place above that. Many every in harmony, they're one heart we're going to sing. To one heart we're going to sing. Together there's a heartbeat breaking through scent of dance, and we're learning. Where moves one desire started to rise to a worlding in your eyes to drops of unity to a place above them. And every in harmony, it's one heart we're going to sing together. One heart we're going to sing together. Drop to a place above the many every in harmony, it's one heart we're going to sing to. Yeah, one heart we're going to sing together. One heart, Father, sing together. Bry in the stud of volume part 7, page 488 in the Hebrew edition, item 5. The words of the you know that the root of is only 6. However, afterwards they grew and became t for it. Similarly, the root of mal is 1 point, which is later made to consist of tth in their first root, and they are only 7 6 in nin and 1. In these clink to the last 2 letters of the name, which are b, and these 2 letters are 11 in Gatria. This is the meaning of the 11 signs of the incense. 10 inner and 1 surrounding, although the surrounding 2 consists of t. It is called 1 because all of these sb operate together. Yes, in light 5 the root of the alien is only 6. This is so because when it was born it had no head, no, which is g called he had only, and mal has only her mul lacking all first, hence they do not have any sucking from the head of, since during the smallness it has no, as we shall see. These are very interesting things, but here we should only allude to the reason that came out without even during the of greatness or adulthood. It is no more than 6 vessels, and when the Ra writes that it has t, it does not mean that the first 3 namely were added to it, but only that it's of how the smallness grew to become, of smallness of grew to become, and all that was added are 3 low f. Thus even during the greatness it does not attain the first 3 vessels, and because this is a great principle in the wisdom, we must understand it at its source, each with its own reasoning. It is known that the root of said emerged from called of be. This is that came out of Vik. Also you find a great innovation in this, unlike all the previous plural of both bodies emerged in them in 10 and 10 vessels. Body begins with a vessel of, as it is written in however in this that came out of the body begins from that. Here there is no memory of the first 3, besides that there's a great difference in the 10 both itself, until here there's only one head for each. The first is first, that stands of towards, second is the of, and the third is. These 2 changes are interdependent. It has already been thoroughly clarified in part 6. All these 3 heads are only 1 10. The matter of their division in this manner is because of the ascent of the L, where the coupling was made on the screen of the first ph called Nick. The first head came out in Tur field, and the of the coupling was made on the low he incorporated there, and this head is called Suit. For this reason the 3 and are considered of as they are below their screen, and the place of the coupling and in that are no longer considered g. Okay, what? How come lacks a k, never makes it up to k, never has a k? This is why it is called then small, and in is face, but the ear means small. A small face always from the very beginning after and comes there on, and it doesn't have God the first 3 only. So how can it reach the thought of, well, that will happen later? But that's not a question yet, and where still says that has a certain. Yes, you right, it's a nice question. It's because these siot complemented it has its true. It doesn't have, it does have, and it doesn't require more. Maybe he'll say more about it later. That's we are continuing to read from the paragraph. Nonetheless, these cat are also considered Moreover, they are the gist of because the above first called is that stands from upward through, that does not join the at all. Instead, it is regarded entirely as aim, that exited to are considered of. Also, these are divided into two. This is so because the called is considered, and of this in the form of in the that came out of this they are considered the third called. Know that the second are two called is also not considered the of. The this means that it mal does not expand from above downward, since it only shines and clothes in the third, meaning alone are the further of. This means that there expands from above downward to of, that even during the g when the lower hay descends from the in the to the of itself does not join in such a way that they will literally be made into one. Instead, only the illumination of clothes. ABA. This is the meaning of above becoming the state of, and the second is in above. There you see how the T of one were divided and made into three. Rush first took the second or took the banner in them, called own, and the third called took the Z. However, the first two do not join the goof of the PU already. Know that all the of goof extend from the full measure that mal of clothes in her reflected light from below upward in. The expands from her and within her in that same amount to 10 of goof. Yet understand that mal of the third has no more than the two which are in the two previous, because and are in the first, called in the second. Thus we have thoroughly explained that it is impossible for zone to have more than 7 kim, being have no more than these z, which are, we might ask about that, since both lack. What then is the greatness of ab over zone? There has already explained that to us above. The whole merit of over the zone is because ABA took a little bit illumination from the light of ozone. This is why their kim did not break, and only their zone did not receive any illumination from the light of ozone, but only from the. This is why all their broke in. General, we've already learned there thoroughly, and we shall explain further in this part that this illumination that ABA received from the light of ozone corrected them by means of Z. This means that because of that they had the phase of B of G of B, as we shall elaborate below. 12. Okay, no, well, in general we can say that. No, yes. What at the end of this paragraph he says that the shattering was because there was drawn, meaning there was light of that they weren't ready to receive is light of isn't it. No, we just read that illumination of ab received from the light of on was corrected by the means of the coupling of back to back. Yes, so this means that because of that they had the so what, so because it was light of, because they drew light of into the vessels. That's what he wants to say. They of yes can yeah. Number 6. Item 6. The words of the A are the essence of how they were 7. We are reading from item 6 in the words of their A are the essence of how they were 7 became 11 is that the 4 posterior broke from H, and they were joined above with 7 with these 7 and became 11. Do not wonder at how we're made of, etc., since this is discerned as what clothes in zone below to become mo for them, and that is considered actual zone. Again 6, and then go to 7. 6 again, the essence of how they were 7 and became 11 is that the 4 broke from and urit they were joined above with these 7 mime and became 11. There were 7 and another 4, so that makes 11. Do not wonder at how cot were made of, etc., since this is discerned as what clothes in zone below to become mo for them. That is considered actual zone. Well, that's not enough for us yet, but soon we'll see how he explains it, that descent where it came from. Know what item 7. Let us complete the scrutiny regarding the primary reason and what it was. His intention is to create this world which contains reward and punishment. This is impossible except through an officer, which is the measure of repaying the evil. Also the evil is the of the and the as it is written in the place of justice that wickedness was there. Item 7 in her light clarifies in the place of justice that wickedness was there. This refers to the sentence of that is turned into harsh and bitter judgments, as is written, his ordinances, they have not known them now. You can understand the words of the Zohar is given and Ra count, and it is counted as a deficit such as 11. This is the evil attribute to repay. Their evil is given more power to hold than they deserve, that a whirling storm it shall whirl upon the head of the wicked, and this is what our sages imply. A camel that went looking for horns, its ears were cut off. Oh, I can't chance like that. Well, what, mister, you want? No, you said about the translation of it. So from one of the times you spoke it, I have it written here. Hint is the camel went to look for horns and ears that were cut off from it. Yeah, but that's not an explanation. Okay, what are you look at me? You want to keep going, or you want to go to something else? We can continue. What else do we have except for this, the article 600,000 souls? That's it. It's not long, so let's go to that article. Otherwise I see that friends are leaving. We'll go to the next part of the lesson. We are reading from the article from Bassam, 600,000 souls. You can find the study materials in the study materials tab in the AV system or in Kabbalah Media Info. You can also send questions. 600,000 souls. It is said that there are 600,000 souls, and each soul divides into several sparks. We must understand how it is possible for the spiritual to divide, since initially only one soul was created. Soul of, in my opinion, there is indeed only one soul in the world, as it is written, and breathed into his nostrils the soul of life. That same soul exists in all the children of Israel, complete in each and every one as in, since the spiritual is indivisible and cannot be cut, which is rather a trait of corporeal things, rather saying that there are 600,000 souls and sparks of souls, appears as though it is divided by the force of the body of each person. In other words, first the body divides and completely denies him of the radiance, the soul, and by the force of the T and the body is cleansed, and to the extent of its cleansing the common soul shines on him. This reason two discernments were made in the corporeal body. In the first discernment, one feels one's soul as a unique organ and does not understand that this is the whole of Israel. This is truly a flaw. Hence it causes, along with the above mentioned in the second discernment, the true light of the soul of Israel does not shine on him in all its power of illumination, but only partially by the measure he has purified himself by returning to the collective. The sign for the body's complete correction is when one feels that one's soul exists in the whole of Israel, in each and every one of them, which he does not feel himself as an individual, for one depends on the other. At that time he is complete, flawless, and the soul truly shines on him in its fullest power, as it appeared in he who breath from within him. Questions, you know what? Read it again. Right, that's what I feel, that it doesn't harm. It is said that there are 600,000 souls, and each soul divides into several sparks. We must understand how it is possible for the spiritual to divide, since initially only one soul was created, the soul of, in my opinion, there is indeed only one soul in the world, as it is written, breathed into his nostrils the soul of life. That same soul exists in all the children of Israel, complete in each and every one, as since the spiritual is indivisible and cannot be cut, which is rather a trait of corporeal things, rather saying that there are 600,000 souls and sparks of souls, appears as though it is divided by the force of the body of each person, in other words, first the body, divides and completely denies him of the radiance of the soul, and by the force of the two and the body is cleansed, and to the extent of its cleansing the common soul shines on him. For this reason two discernments were made in the corporeal body. In the first discern, one feels one's soul as a unique organ, and does not understand that this is the whole of Israel. This is truly a flaw, and it causes, along with the above mentioned in the second discernment, the true light of the soul of Israel does not shine on him in all its power of illumination, but only part. By the measure he has purified himself by returning to the collective. The sign for the body's complete correction is when one feels that one's soul exists in the whole of Israel, in each and every one of them, for which he does not feel himself as an individual, for one depends on the other. At that time he is complete, flawless, and the soul truly shines on him in its fullest power, as it appeared as in he who breathed from within him. Short questions. None. K. Gilad. Yes, Gilad. We can understand it as man's attitude towards the ten, that at first he feels nothing, then he feels himself, then is part of the ten, until ultimately he and the ten and all of Israel are one. So it really talks about us this articles. It's not something general. No, it's not history, not geography. This is us. Okay, so yeah, what is the first state he writes about here? That one feels one's soul as an individual, and he doesn't understand it's the whole of Israel. That's how a person starts yearning to understand, who am I, what am I, what a soul is, what the Creator is, and so on. So in the first phase he still feels his soul as a unique detail, doesn't understand that is the whole of Israel, that he has a connection to the collective of the whole spiritual vessel that is now starting to be revealed to a person, and that is a flaw, because it comes from him feeling his soul as a something that is sliced from the collective, as something individual. And why does he say that he feels his soul? Meaning he already has some feeling of it. He feels that it's his internality, but he still doesn't feel it as a part of a collective, that he's connected to the collective. He feels that he has it in him as his soul, and he lives and exists supposedly outside of the others. And in the second state, where he says that true light of the soul of Israel doesn't illuminate in all its power, but only partially. Yeah, what does it mean partially? Part of that illumination that shines. So you're right, keep reading. By the measure he has purified himself by returning to the collective, as much as he connects to the collective in such a way, to that measure he purifies his soul, and he feels that he's part of that collective. Thank you, Ken. In the Congress we really felt that 10 in different opportunities. It was especially powerful in the social time. We felt like we were rising with it. But I want to ask about outside, if outside people connect in times of trouble, even soldiers in a battlefield, and they describe a state that to me sounds spiritual. Does that touch upon the states we're working with? It could be that some kind of refinement takes place in them, that their souls are getting purified, and they feel for a moment. Usually then it passes, because life comes back and turns it out. There are times that they actually feel it. I just want to say thank you to everyone for this Congress, and to you for the forces you invest, and the Creator that allowed us to feel love in Israel here in such a complicated time. Thank you. K. What does it mean, the state described here? That the soul appears in all its power as it appeared in Ad. I don't know that state itself. I don't attain, but according to what is written, you can say that by man doing that and connecting to the upper root, he can reveal that light that is extended upon him from above. When we connect with the friends, with the points in the hearts, we connect with individual souls, or a single soul. We connect to individual souls between themselves, and the more we we connect them into one whole, collective whole, and the common part is that some part of the soul, of course. What does it mean 600,000 if there's only one soul? We've learned it, and we'll learn more about the shattering of that is put together from 6 parts. Like that's why it was shattered into 600,000 parts. No. Well, we're continuing from this is the meeting. Yes, this is the meaning of the 3 times of a person, 1. A spark of a soul, the act by way of sparkling as in prohibiting and permitting to a particular soul 1 part out of 600,000. It is permanently completed, but its floor is within it. This means that his body cannot receive the whole of the soul and feels himself as being distinct, which causes him a lot of pains of love. Subsequently, he approaches the common soul. The body has been cleansed and is entirely dedicated to where Creator and does not pose any measures or screens and is completely included in the whole of Israel. We learned that if one man came before his master in complete repentance, the Messiah King Kamat, once it seems to mean as they said Moses is equal to 600,000. We need to understand this since this would mean that there are twice 600,000 souls, the soul of Moses and the souls of Israel, but the truth is that there is no more than one soul, as it is known by the measure of each and every soul that purifies and cleanses itself from its filth. When all the souls are corrected, they will draw unto them the entire upper soul of ale to each and every soul, since the spiritual is indivisible at that time, and the Lord will be king over all the earth. Hence, while even a single soul is denied of complete purity, the extension of this holiness will be deficient in every soul from Israel, and when a single soul from Israel is purified from all its filth, it will draw onto itself the whole of the soul of and through it all the souls of it generation will be corrected. This is the meaning of one being dependent on the other, as it is written, it was befitting for the divinity to be upon him, but his generation was unworthy of it. The content of the words is unanimously bewildering. The same soul that was rewarded with purification immediately strives to increase the grace of their generation and asks for them until it elevates its entire generation to its merit. This is the meaning of Moses is equal to 600,000 because he was their faithful shepherd. He had the same holiness as the whole generation. The whole is found within each item, since in the end all the souls will unite into one discernment, returning to their spiritual root. All the miracles and wonders that all the journeys that the world has experienced during the 6,000 years should be experienced by each individual soul. The good soul draws to it from all discernments of holiness before it and after it, and the bad soul does the opposite, and the changing times are considered generations. However, each generation behaves according to its judge, the mind that judges it, since it receives from the holiness of that time. For this reason each soul is willing to draw the souls of Moses, Aaron, Samuel, David and Solomon within it as times that it experiences during the exodus from Egypt and the reception of the Torah. The soul of Moses appears in him in the 7 that they conquered, the soul of Joshua, and in the building of the temple, the soul of King Solomon, etc. This is not referred to the above mentioned souls in particular, but according to the rule that we said that the spiritual is indivisible. As soon as one is rewarded with a soul, he is rewarded with the soul of the whole of Israel, but according to one's merit and place. At a time when one is rewarded with these wonders, one receives into himself the abundance of the soul in that disclosure. For this reason the name of the owner of that disclosure is truly upon him. They said all of Israel are sons of kings. Also a king who died, all of Israel are worthy of kingship. This is a great secret, for in all the previous generations which were but a preparation for mal special vessels were required for anointment of their judges, such as the souls of Moses and Samuel, but the final purpose that depends on the whole of Israel, since when a tiny part of a tiny spark is missing, the end will not be able to appear. Hence all of Israel are worthy of kinship, since everyone is equal in this truer discernment. For this reason there is no special vessel for drawing that wholeness, but anyone who cleanses and purifies his soul will be worthy of extending the revelation of mal in the world, will truly be called king. David this is the meaning of David, king of Israel, is indeed alive, for he has not died at all. His vessel is within each and every soul from Israel. This is not so with the soul Moses, which is found in only the wise disciples in the generation as well as in prophets and priests. This is the meaning of a king who dies. All of Israel are worthy of kingship. This is also the meaning of exempting the public. This is the meaning of near the Messiah. Insolence will soar, and they will be insolent towards each other. The child will behave insolently against the elder, and the base against the honourable. This means that even an ignoble child will dare to extend his kinship to the world as though he were one of the elders and honourable in the generation. This is so because should feeble all who has a lowly and be soul at its root aim his heart and purify his deeds to be worthy, he will be rewarded with extending the whole of the soul of a holy nation in his soul with all the ers that the holy nation has tasted thus far. This is because they were all but preparations for his this wholeness. Hence even that particular soul must taste everything, and he will buy his world in 1 hour, due to the ability of that generation to extend the crown of his kinship, which contains everything, and all need the owner of the needless, and every element in it is required. This is the meaning of their words. Even if one man came before his master in complete repentance, Messiah King would come at once. This means that whoever it was, even if only one man in the generation, were rewarded with extending that soul by himself, he will be able to reward his whole generation, since all who are committed to the matter exempt the public, who can do much praying and continue until he is rewarded for the sake of his entire generation. This is not so with other kinds of redemptions, which were but preparations and did not belong to each and every one. For example, the give of the tar belonged specifically to the generation of the desert, and to Moses. Any other generation, even if they were more worthy, would not extend that discernment, and neither would any other person besides Moses, for they are interdependent. However, the Messiah is ready for each and every generation. Because of this, he is also ready for each and every person to extend the discernment of the Messiah, as in all who are committed to the matter as mentioned above. The reason is that anointments concern the correction of the vessels and the portrayal of all the vessels as equal, since any division among them is only in their according to their measures. Hence from the minister who sees the king's face to one who sits behind the grindstone all are equal servants, and restoring the old glory. And in this there are no degrees between one another. For K. R. in Yesen, written according to the measure he was purified, the common soul shines on him according to the measure who is purified. What is the measure of purification? Corrected its coarseness of you. And then what happens then? More light can come from surrounding light to inner light, and then the general soul can shine on him. Yes, there's also a expression here, the collective of Israel. What is that collective of Israel? The general soul. What is in him? There's no other division besides their vessels that are working in order to bestow according to their intention, their direction. They're called Israel, straight to the Creator. That's it, the individual that purifies himself and comes closer to that collective. Yes, there's a collective soul. There's a collective of Israel that individual starts purifying when he yes so accordingly that's how he enters the whole collective that force of the whole, those who already corrected themselves in the intention to bestow and they've entered a single force with the Creator and that structure of the collective that he's already one, he's already in unity with the Creator, yes so that one that wants to purify in what's the line that brings him to incorporate in this directed thing that he's already united in the root of the soul, the root of his. So let's say now on the convention some collective was felt, yes, what is that for force of the collective that is huge, it's a force, what's a force that attracts towards the Creator, the final correction connection between us, all of it is a force, yes, there in the end please. What is the matter that he writes in one, acquires his whole world in 1 hour that he receives a response right now, and that response he received from above allows him, enables him to make the final correction first of all, especially today. It feels like what there's a feeling of what writes in this article and gratitude that we have such a righteous in the generation who knows the entire soul and conveys it in such a way that there is someone who knows everything. It's something very unique, and he also knows how to deliver it in a way that in our generation we can feel that Rar, yes, was awarded with all the degrees, yes, felt everywhere. And I wanted to ask, he talks about the individual who begins to return to the collective, so it seems like there's 2 aspects here according to the article. And also the feeling, there's the individual who feels the whole of Israel, and basically where is or why is there a 10? In the way it feels like it has to be there so the person can return to the collective, but it's unclear where is it. On the way, technically speaking, like a person must have it, but it's unclear where it is between the individual and feeling the whole of Israel to his generations, Rob. So the individual who listens to the advice of Kabbalists about how to return to the whole that he has to bring himself to an intention to bestow as one man in one heart, and so forth, so that individual returns, and that is his correction. And what is the structure of the 10 that he's in? That maybe it is, but where does the general soul shine on him specifically? During the T through the yes, how does a person feel the collective of Israel and all generations? Through the structure of the T, doesn't it restrict them? We don't understand how the 10, which seems to us like a something individual and temporary and coincidental, that's most important, that's what it seems. We don't see that it can actually bring each and every person to the goal, to connection, to bring him to his place, to his true final stop. It's very interesting, thank you. Love may be a strange question, but what is B's method? What's the essence of his method? The essence of the method is truth. There's nothing besides a force in man, force in the Creator, and the connection between them to the extent that one can use his force and the Creator's force that is bestowed upon him, that shines on him. According to that, a person advances towards his source. Yeah, that's it. Yesterday, when we read none else besides him, so it was clear that it's like Bam's creation, but it's say our sages said they wrote it's like he gathers a lot of things, TSHDI, all those things. It's like they concentrate a lot of sources that already exist. What did he add into there that makes it a method? His method, 'cause you feel that there's something in him. Look, only worked in the 20th century. Before him, many Kabbalists were active also in his generation. There were a few, so you can't say that this is the one and only Kabbalist sent by the Creator, and that's it. However, practically what's unique about him is that he received permission from above and opened to us a very important part of the wisdom of Kala that discusses man's correction, which before was very difficult to understand, to attain, and people had to go through, like he explains in one of the sources. You don't remember the 7 wisdoms? Yeah, the 7 wisdoms, all kinds of things like that. It's not simple, and for us essentially, basically, Everyone can come closer and reach it. So we actually took the whole path and in a work, and he took the essence of it into something very precise without all the yes. Yes, if you read him word afterward in trying to feel these words a bit from within, then we see he wrote this to those who wish to feel, because the most important thing is feeling. Some people it's very hard for them to rise above their feeling. Yes, I want to ask, because maybe we can learn from this if you're willing to tell us. We started the lesson and you said that you didn't sleep all night because of the convention, and I'm really broken at the end of the Congress. I got to a point I don't know how I keep holding on, and you said that we should wait. He said we wait, maybe it's a beginning of our next stage, our next development. It's not that you're just not that you have sleeping problems, it's the beginning of the next thing I want to learn from it. I guess we're all going to go through all states, everybody's going to go through everything. What's the right way to relate to a state that you can't sleep? And I didn't see you sleeping in the lesson. The contrary, I don't see anybody more alert than you in this lesson. So how you relate correctly to such a state that I don't know, it's not up to me, doesn't depend on me. I don't have an answer, but I truly didn't sleep. No? Well, you don't need to learn from that. We'll conclude the lesson today. We have to conclude this holiday we had and prepare ourselves for tomorrow morning, because but still we can say now the thank you for the Congress, and we'll keep going. Perhaps well, we don't want it to become routine, but such conventions can maybe happen 4 times a year. All right, think about it. Must you agree there's already a date for the next Congress, and that's really what we're going to do. We already have the date and everybody's invited. Oh, you see, when a 4th and FTH of May a year. No, we have pooling Passover. There are things, unity evenings every week or 2. There's something here. Okay, very well. Yes, should the tea conclude the Congress? They went through. It's desirable, recommended to discuss in the 10 what we went through, how we came out of it, and what are we doing next to make it clear to everyone. Thank you. Okay, friends, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you